Amber Rose and Wiz Khalifa, they're getting divorced. And can I say that I'm not really shocked, but I thought that they would last a little bit longer than this because it's only been like a year or so since they've been married. I haven't been checking up on Amber or Wiz. The only Wiz Khalifa song that I've ever heard of is Black and Yellow. And I only heard the chorus, Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow. That's it. That's all I can tell you. And all I know is that he smokes a lot of weed, and he already said that he's a fucking stoner. I seen his Breakfast Club interview when his latest album came out. Is it called Black Hollywood or something like that? Either way, I just remember that because he did that Breakfast Club interview. He said he was a stoner. That's what his lifestyle is. We already know that. And then, maybe later on that week, Amber Rose put out a twerk Instagram video of her twerking to the song because the album was doing good in the first week. And then all of a sudden, then the MTV Awards came one day at the MTV Awards together. I don't know, but she was there. Maybe I missed something. Was he there? I don't know. But this like came out the blue that they getting divorced because people put out there like, oh, we're so happy, and they was always cuddle up with each other, and we all if we saw some pictures of them, they'd be hugged up or they'd be out walking, little Sebastian and little baby, um, and they actually look cute, and I thought they was good for each other, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. She claims that he was a serial cheater. He want to claim that she cheated too, and she was like, I would never do that, but he did. I was like, oh, here y'all go, mudslinging each other. It's just fucked up, and what it goes to show is you can't ever want for another person's life because just because of the image that they showing you right now in the public is not what's really going on behind the scenes. The grass is not always greener on the other side, and this is what they're showing you. Okay, everything that glitter is not gold. All right, and I wish them all the best. Maybe she'll retract the divorce and they'll just separate. Like, bitch, they went from separation to they didn't even go through a separation state. Well, that we know of. They just went straight to divorce, and that's kind of fucked up. But hey, shit happens, and that happened. And I remember like, see, Amber Rose and Wiz Khalifa kind of fit each other, but I really wasn't checking it. Like when I was over Amber Rose, when she first came out because she went from like this stripper to being with, Kanye West. And, she was good for Kanye. She was good for Kanye because Kanye was actually happy back then. And then, he get with Kim and you just like, damn, can you put a smile on your face? It was just like, hmm. I really wasn't checking for her. Really wasn't trying to give her a chance back then. But I don't know. She's likable. She's likable. And I've heard nice things about her too. So, I wish them all the best. I don't ever want to wish anybody's relationship to fail. That's cold hearted for any reason. That's just fucked up. But hopefully, maybe something to happen that hey, they actually work it out and they talk it out, or if they do split, they able to split and still be cordial with one another because they do have a child together, and the child is the only thing that matter at this point. But yeah, y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. Speaking of divorces, let's go from that extreme to the other extreme. Bow Wow and Eric, no, I should say Shad Moss and Erica Mena from Love and Hip Hop New York, the originals of the series, are now engaged to be married. I know, I know. We're thinking the same thing. Like 2 hours ago, she was munching on Sans Cooch, and now all of a sudden you're go from munching on that to sucking back on the pole to being engaged. I'm just like, what? Like from when Love and Hip Hop New York went off earlier this year, a few months ago, her and Sin was still hugged up, and then because I do follow both of them on Instagram, and they both did used to post pictures of them together, and I was like, I didn't notice that neither one of them posted pictures of each other anymore, and I was like, oh, okay, and we already had our suspicion about their relationship. Like, is it really real? I'm not really buying it. This fake lesbian shit, but not only did the relationship fizzle out, she moved on back to dick. And I was like, okay, to each his own, you know, bisexual, whatever. You do what you do. But how the fuck did Bow Wow come into the picture and engage? Like, damn, y'all, I'm pretty sure they was not dating for a year. Uh, it just seems so quick. It seems so opportunist on her side of things. It just seems like, I don't know. It seems like a publicity stunt. I don't know. You know, Bow Wow, I can't really hate on him right now because even though he's on 106 and Park and, you know, he was having trouble with paying, you know, child support and all that stuff, he is, I think, on a new show. I think it was NCIS or whatever, and he signed on for a few years or whatever. So there's a steady paycheck on that, and that's on the actual primetime TV. I was like, okay, congratulations to that. You know, and that's why he said, because at first I was like, are you going to be on Love and Hip Hop? Are you going to make a cameo or some shit? I was like, no, reality TV ain't for him. So I'm like, damn, how? I mean, at least it ain't Rich Dollars. But then again, if it would have been him, we would have understood that completely and been like, it wouldn't have mattered. But Bow Wow? Is she pregnant? I'm confused. What's going on? Y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. It just seems so odd. Odd as fuck. But anyway, moving on from that. Do I want to talk about get well, Lil August. Lil August. I seen the clip. He was at some show and then all of a sudden he passed out. Like he literally just fainted off that stage. And I thought he was just fainting, but I think he hit his head. He was having some seizures on and off. And I guess it caused him to put him like in a coma. And he was in a coma for 3 days. And, you know, he posted on his IG talking about his friend. You know, I was in a coma for 3 days and it just made me appreciate life. And this dude, my brother, he was right there by my side for the whole time. It was just so, I was like, oh, he was so sensitive. You just know he looked like he dripped milk. That's what he looked like. But I couldn't even hate. And I was like, he was like, basically just appreciate the people that's in your life. And I was like, okay, cool, August. That was cute. Look, August can be an asshole, but then when I seen his Breakfast Club interview, and his personality, like he cleared up a whole bunch of stuff. You know, it was this big uproar talking about when he said he don't eat pussy. He was like, no, that's not what I said. He said, I don't eat random pussy. I was like, okay, that's understandable. You don't know what the fuck, get herpes on your lips and shit like that. You know, bitches ain't always fresh, just like niggas ain't always clean either. So I get that. But you know, if you didn't check out his Breakfast Club interview, it was really nice, and you get to see another side of him. And he's funny and all that stuff, and he explained a lot of stuff, and you like, oh, okay, I get it. You still a little asshole, but you know, oh, okay, I get it. You know, I understand. That's how you have one of those moments. But um, anything else that I want to talk about before I get into the heart of some things? I don't care about Cheryl Underwood. You know, you want to call these women out and say that they was talking shit about you when you heard it. Probably were, and I'm pretty sure that you probably said some shit about them too. Point blank. And I heard people say shit about you and your attitude and how you are and yada yada yada. Everybody has a fucked up past and does some fucked up shit. Ain't nobody's closet clean or cleared. I'm just saying. It is what it is. Shit happens. Grow up. You're on the talk. You're doing good. Fuck you bringing up the old shit for. I'm just saying. But excuse me. Let me drink some water on that. Okay, fuck it. 40 minutes. Already into this video. Let's go there. Thursday night. Wednesday night. Fuck it. This week was premiere week, okay? You know, I watched The Big Bang Theory. I love The Big Bang Theory. I don't know why I do, but I just do. Sheldon, that's my favorite character on The Big Bang. Bitch, he is hilarious. He actually, if y'all don't watch The Big Bang, like, when he told Leonard in that car, I plan on having quarters with Amy. Like, he's the type of, like, he's asexual. He don't care about sex or anything like that. And now all of a sudden he want to bang Amy. I was like, ew, Shelton. It was cute though. Okay. Moving on from that. That came on Monday night. It was just so many things that was coming on this week. Um, Wednesday, Martin Family came on. That was cute. Cam was overdoing it with the with all the stuff being lovey dovey because you know Cam and Mitch got married and he was just overdoing it, trying to show his affection and his love, whatever. Moving on from that, we had the new comedy Blackish with Tracy Ellis Ross. And check out her Breakfast Club interview that was put up today. Actually, it's real nice, and I love her. And Anthony Anderson, Lawrence Fishburne, and some other people, the kids and all that stuff. But those are three main characters. And when I tell you, I was kind of taken aback by the name, like Blackish. Blackish. And when she explained it on the Breakfast Club, and when you go look at the interviews, like when Anthony Anderson and Tracy Ellis Ross was on The View, you understood it's not saying they're blackish. It's like we're black, we're our ish, and you know, blackish. Like I was like, okay, now I get it. And I was like, I hope this shit ain't gonna be about a whole bunch of stereotypes and all this stuff. But the first episode, it just drew me in, and I was just like, I was on here sitting like, I hope this shit is good. I hope it ain't talking about a whole bunch of racism and whatever. But the way that they put it is like, yes, this shit really does happen. And it's funny as fuck, but this is what really happened. Okay? And especially when he was up for that promotion, he was thought he was gonna be the president of the regular company, I guess the VP of the regular company or some shit like that. But no, he got promoted to the urban department because he was black, probably. And I was just like, oh. And that's what he was like, oh. And he was like, okay. Dude came around and was like, I want you to put your swag on it. Mind you, this is the white guy, the boss. I want you to keep it real. So him being Anthony being smart as fuck, he gonna put out this make up this because he had this advertising company and they're doing the marketing and stuff. And he put out this little clip with them, all these clips, like people in the hood getting shot, the cops coming in raiding and all this shit. He kept it way too fucking real, and everybody was in there looking at him like, the fuck is this? And he went overboard and he almost lost his job, but he came back and he, found a good in the urban division and what it meant to be urban or black or whatever the fuck that they want to classify it. I was like, okay, I like the way that they flipped that situation, but in some business, that's just how it is. That's how they look at you, and I was like, that is so true because I've encountered some shit like that too. Um, and when they showed Anthony walking into his job, and he was like, the way you feel when you're that select few minority or black folk there, you got to be the head of that person or whatever. You feel like a special little club or whatever. I was like, everybody feel that way if you're a minority, okay? A very few minority in the business. That's how you feel. I said y'all hit that shit on the motherfucking head, but it was cute and it was funny. And it actually, it brought in like over 10 million views, um, people from Martin Family, if they watched, it seemed like they went on ahead and watched the new show, gave it a chance, and I hope it continued with this. Bitch, fuck everything else. Because Scandal came on Thursday and How to Get Away with Murder. Fuck Grey's Anatomy. I'm sorry, Shonda. I haven't watched Grey's Anatomy. First of all, congratulations to Shonda Rhimes, all right? A black woman who has this whole night of primetime TV on a network television station. ABC, that whole from 7 to fucking 10 o'clock. That is all Shonda fucking Rhimes, okay? 7 o'clock, Grey's Anatomy. 8 o'clock, you got Scandal. And then at 9 o'clock, you have How to Get Away with Murder, which is her new show that debuted with high-ass ratings. Like, bitch, over 14 million people, damn near 15 million people tuned in for How to Get Away with Murder, starring Viola Davis. Bitch, when I tell you that shit was good, I feel sorry for anything else that comes on at the same time because ain't nobody watching that shit. If you did not catch it, it just went off because it was on ABC Family. They re-showed it. It's on the website too. Make sure you watch it because you will not be disappointed. It was good. Scandal, girl. This is season 4. Now, if y'all didn't see season 3, you need to go on Hulu, Netflix, wherever the fuck you go watch it and catch up. But y'all know at the end of season 3, Olivia left. You know, she just couldn't handle all the shit. The president and the first lady, their son got killed. James got killed, that Cyrus boy friend. And, you know, everything just got kind of fucked up. Huck was going to go back and see his family. Quinn, you know, she went kind of crazy after the shit that she was doing, trying to work with B613. And, you know, she was messing around with Charlie. Charlie wasn't introduced to us this episode, so maybe he'll pop back up because we don't know what happened to him and what happened to their relationship. Because at one point, you know, Huck and Quinn was getting it on in the parking lot and all this stuff. Mama Pope. I hope Eli really did not have her killed because that was a bad bitch, and I would like to see her come back and just pop up and fuck shit up again. Okay, I mean this is only the first episode of the season, but I just want that. I really just want her destruction in my life. I do on the show. It's really good for it, you know? So, at the end of the last season, it implied that Harrison got killed. Olivia left, and at the opening of this season, she's on some beach looking like a Budweiser or a Corona commercial when they be sitting out there in the lawn chairs looking at the water, and it just looks so crystal clear and quiet and peaceful. Jake comes over there, they talking, and he kissing. It wasn't, when I say a minute had not even gone past in the show before Olivia was getting finger fucked. I said, damn, bitch. Really? Really? You couldn't ease us into it? Like he eased on into you? Like, damn, okay, hold the presses. You know. Then she get this mail saying that Harrison died. They found his body, and she like, wait a minute, who sent me this? Because no one else knows that I'm here, and she's under an alias named what's that? Julia Baker, and you know, she was just wondering what happened. She winds up going back to the States, back to Washington D.C. so she can give Harrison. That's what she wanted to claim, so she can give Harrison a funeral. Child, everything has got turned the fuck up, turned over, and turned out ever since, you know, Olivia left. It was like they tried to make it seem, if you ask me, like she was the glue that kept everything together and kept everyone from falling apart. Because we get Huck. Huck got a fucking 9 to 5, bitch. I'm not Huck no more. I'm Randy, the smart guy. Next customer. I was like, I want. Can I wait till the next person come on shift because you seem a little too aggressive to just fix my phone. I just want to know what's 1 plus 1. 2, bitch. That's what Huck sound like. That's what Huck. He just sound like he's gonna kill you, even if you just ask a simple question. 9 to 5 is not his forte. He was over Olivia. Like, bitch, if you're not here to stay, don't even fucking talk to me. I don't give a damn about no damn funeral for Harrison. And Abby working with the White House, working with Fisk. She's almost like taking Olivia's place, you know, always being around, being his campaign manager or some shit like that, you know, speaking on his behalf and all that stuff. Melly, poor Melly, poor Melly. And I understand. Melly is depressed because she's not over the fact that her son is dead and the way that he passed away. And, you know, she just walking around in some Uggs that look like she been had on and she slept in for the past months or so. And, you know, she's just fucking over it. And for some reason, this not so dead up Millie, I'm kind of liking. Like, it's making me feel for her. After that one scene where she keep on going to her son's funeral plot, standing outside looking at it and laying at it, I just felt so bad for her. I really did. Um, Quinn, why was she there? Quinn was the first person that Olivia saw when she got back. She got back to the office and Quinn was like, so I did this and I did that and I knew that it had to be you and I found the name Julia Baker and this and yada yada yada. I was like, girl, don't nobody give a fuck. Okay, you're not her. move along. Just go kill yourself or something like that. Why is Quinn still there? I don't understand her purpose. She irks me. And then when Olivia met up with Abby, and Abby read the shit out of her like, bitch, how dare you try to come up in here and tell us what to do? Okay, you fucking left us. I said, Abby got her hair teased, pumped, and valued. All that shit together. I said, new hairdo, bitch, new job, and you just a new bitch altogether. You better go ahead and do that shit. Because remember when Abby first came on season 1, that hair was just flat, no life, no personality. She was just irking us just as much as Quinn was. But she grew into her character and she matured and she evolved. And I was like, kudos to you. Quinn, you did the quite opposite. You was just, ugh. And Jake comes back. He sees David. It was like, bitch, I thought you was supposed to take down B613. And then, because David got offered to be the attorney general, Abby telling him basically grow some balls and take the shit, you know. And Cyrus, bitch, what was wrong with Cyrus' hair? Cyrus Quoth, Carf, bitch, I don't know what the fuck that was. That Donald Trump ass lace front that was on his head, and it was teased up and everything and curled and bang. I said, what the fuck? All right, like who he getting cute for or trying to? Hmm. What you trying to say? When James was there, you was all stressed out and shit, but now he not. You got your hair done, like you took time out for yourself to get a new do. I'm not feeling that, Cyrus. Go back to the other. Go back to the stressed out looking look. But anyway, um, what else happened? Yeah, the whole premise of Olivia being that she talked to her daddy, he basically claims that he didn't have Harrison killed and said that he had a mama taken care of. Lies. But she claims her whole premise to be that was, to bury her friend Harrison. We gonna get on him in a minute. But what I was looking forward to, I was hoping that Olivia gets back to fixing cases. And sure enough, in this first episode, what causes her to stay, because she was just going to come for a couple of days and then leave and go back to that island. She wound up staying because the senator almost got killed. And come to find out, it was somebody that worked for him, like an aide, a secretary, or whatever, because he had a type. And he was sexually assaulting these women. And, she was staying to take on that case. I was like, all right. Nan, that's her name. Nan from True Blood, who was the head bitch of the Council of the Vampires, and she was like, she was serving in True Blood. Like, she was always up on the fashion and shit. I said, you better work, bitch. She was at first going to be the one that was trying to take up for the girl, the actual girl who was being attacked by the senator. But come to find out, her hands really ain't too clean because she knew that was his type and she basically threw that girl up in there. I said, bitch, what? And then you got, what is Ellen's girlfriend. Ellen's girlfriend playing Lindsay somebody up in there. I was like, oh shit, look at Ellen's girl. Not girlfriend, her wife. I said, yes, you better go ahead and do that shit. But this funeral for Harrison, they put all this hoopla over this. Columbus Short was up there tweeting, oh, basically like, they doing all this for Harrison. Harrison's still the background and all that shit. Like, nigga, shut up. Take his Twitter away. This fool was down in Atlanta hosting a scandal premiere party for a show that he's no longer on and probably only going to be mentioned in this first episode because we got to clear up the loose ends, where he also was going to premiere his new song called what? Gladiator. Somebody go help Columbus. Go help Columbus. Well, one of the things that got me, when Fitz found out that Olivia was back, it irked me so much. You was trying to be there for your wife, or at least let it seem like you being there for your wife. But as soon as you hear that Olivia's back, you more concerned about her, and that pissed me the fuck off. And when Melly read the shit out of him, and I said, you better fucking read. It was like, oh, you gonna go fuck her and then try to come back to me, and then if you want to have sex with me, just let you know it's like 1976 down there, a whole fucking forest, because a bitch ain't shaved shit, wax shaved or nothing. I said, you still gonna let him hit after all of this? Girl, please. But Melly read him, and that was good. That was good. Scared, it was cute. It was cute for the premiere. I liked it. How to Get Away with Murder. Viola Davis did the damn thing. She's just a defense attorney, and she's a professor. And all these people just want to take her class, and she the type of professor that this is the type of professor that I couldn't stand in school. When you come in the classroom, either they give you assigned seating according to the name's alphabetical order so that they can just know who you are for first of all, and they called on you randomly, even if you didn't raise your hand. Or like I had some that put your name on the note card or a popsicle stick, and then they just put it in there and shuffle it up. And if they want to ask a question, they just go through it and randomly pick a card and tell you to stand up or give the answer or whatever, even if you didn't raise your hand. You're gonna do all that. I ain't got time for it, okay? Because no, I don't do that. Don't put me on the spot like that. But that's how she did her shit, and she played no games. And that scene when she was in there getting some head, she was getting some head, getting some head. I'm sitting there like, Viola. And then come to find out that was her little boyfriend. And then her husband got the show started off with the four students that's gonna be on her team rolling up a dead body. Come to find out the dead body was a goddamn husband. And I said, wait a minute. So then they go back 3 months later, 3 months earlier to when the semester first started, and then they keep intertwining, what's current within the thing. It's so complicated to talk about. Not really complicated, but it's so much to talk about. I don't really want to go into it. Just know that How to Get Away with Murder is my new fucking show, okay? That is my shit. And this is just from the first episode. See, first impressions, they last and they do count. And this bitch, you did it. You did it. Shonda Rhimes, you doing the damn thing. Um how y'all think going if you saw How to Get Away with Murder and you know that the husband is dead and you know that the four students are like disposing of the body, who do y'all think killed him and what do y'all think happened? Because you remember it's that college girl that went missing and they found her body, and on the next episode or whatever, Viola asked her husband, was she sleeping with old boy, was he sleeping with her? And he was like, of course not. And I was like, yeah, bullshit. Cause if you cheating, she cheating, y'all all cheating on each other. You can't tell me no different. But yes, it was just so good, and I loved it. But I've been looking at Sons of Anarchy too, and child, Gemma needs to be shot. I just can't wait till the finale when Jax found out that Gemma did that to Tara, and they set up all this shit that's in motion all on a lie. All on a goddamn lie because of your mama. I think Jax might kill his mama. Mm-hmm. Or she might get caught in the crosshairs. I don't know. But that was the episode. The episode. That's the what it is video. I'm gonna let y'all go. It's an hour video. Split it up. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna split it up because it's easier to upload quicker. You know what I'm saying? But you guys have a good weekend and be safe. And I will see you guys later. Peace.